Jeff,
Tell me.
I don't want to really discredit and write off the 844 system.
But it was a disaster.
No, it was not
It was a disaster, Chalas.
It was not a disaster. It was a very big disaster. You have to add the word very big. You understand?
Yes.
Because what the 844 subjected me to date, a lot of it cannot be applied out here because it was so much exam oriented and so much exams focused that so many young men and young women were lost into the exams and forgot about some of the greatest things that they used to do. During our year, that's when things like art and craft were being scrapped off. Home science was being thrown out. Yet you see how many young men nowadays come out as designers.
Correct.
You understand?
Many.
They had to rediscover this thing after their years out there.
What a
That's when
waste.
they say, you know what? My love for fashion is still there. But can you imagine if home science was still retained then? Art and craft, some of them have come out like great furniture, carpenters.
Yes.
You get carpenters.
By the way, what is home science?
Home science is the process whereby, you see, 844 put me in a situation where everything, when you are asked to, is a process whereby. Okay. So home science is a process whereby a subject that you are taught about things that happen at home. This would be cooking, you understand? And there were practicals, cooking practicals. And they were sewing. You could come up with materials and you have tested in can you sew? Can you do this? What could you do at home? Can you cook? There were cooking competitions.
Chefs in the making.
Chefs in the making. But all this was then scrapped off. And vectors added more.
Elmad Songe is the Chief Curriculum Development Officer at the Kenya Institute for Curriculum Development. He's the one with the team behind the new system of education, which is going to be 2633. That's what it is, 2633. No more 844, no more disaster. And the kids in class 3 now are the ones who are going to eventually graduate, the first graduates in 2027 of this new system.
My daughter just joined class 2 now.
Oh, good.
So she's there.
she is in the team.
Yes.
2633.
Yes, and I've already seen a few characters in her. She looks like she's a marathoner. You never know. Some gold might just be coming home sometime soon. If we focus in that running, you understand?
Yes.
Because her body looks like she can run. You understand?
Yes.
So looking for a good stadium and a trainer like this is what I will focus on.
Elmad, is that what we're going to be looking at in the future?
Actually, you find that most of the children now, you look at them, they are waking up very early in the morning. They have a child of 4 years of age or 5 years is carrying a big bag, as if this child is already studying medicine or something. So this is due to homework, or exams, and all that, which the teachers are focusing on. So those are the things we want to remove. We want the children to learn. We want them to discover. We want them to explore. We want them to learn through play. So we want to see more of playing items. We want to see more of objects that they can discover. We want even them to be digitally literate.
Yeah.
So we want them to be trained how to use the phone, not to use it to look at pornographic material, but to learn. Let them access the internet. Let them see the world. Let them go out there and discover from plants, so that you don't just sit children in class and tell them a plant has flowers, has the roots, and has the leaves. Yet those things are just outside the classroom.
Absolutely.
Let them go there to the field and discover the flowers. They can learn more.
On Twitter, Nicho Mfalme is asking, I'm just concerned on how will students be transitioning from grade 6 to 7? Which criteria will be used to select which school one is to attend?
Okay. Like now, I told you that we have zoned this system into 3. We have the early years of education, which is pre-primary 1 and 2, and grade 1, 2, and 3. That level, we have put standards. We have put standards, and we are calling them level learning outcomes. So at grade 3, will be assessing whether children are meeting those standards. And it will not be an exam. It just be a tool we are going to develop with the Kenya National Examination Council, and we are going to have sample of children and assess whether they are achieving those standards. If they are achieving those standards, well and good. If they are not achieving, then we do a review. But we don't want any child to stop at any level. We want them to move seamlessly. And what Jalas has said, and many Kenyans are saying, is about exams. We believe in exams. And exams is 1 or 2 days affair, and you should not use that to condemn a child. We want the teacher to daily noting and observing and even recording what the child is able to do based on what they are learning. So it is a whole system which is looking at the cognitive, it's looking at the affective, how the child is relating with others, and also looking at the psychomotor. We want children to play and develop their physical aspects, and that's what Jalas is saying, that maybe her daughter is looking like a marathoner.
Yes.
We want that to be developed.
That's right.
And what we have done is that subject, and in early years we are calling them learning areas, like physical education, will be daily. From Monday to Friday, every day, children must go for physical education.
What if they are physically disabled?
There's something they can do. Even those who are physically disabled, they can do a few exercises just to make sure that the remaining muscles and bones are strong.
Yes.
So we have done all that. We have made sure that even for children with physical disabilities, even those with intellectual disabilities, we have designed physical education that they can do.
How long did this design take, Ahmed?
We have been working on it since 2015.
Wow.
2015, and the whole of last year we were working on it.
Yeah.
Then we piloted it for 2 terms. In a few schools we selected 470 schools. So each county we had 10 schools. For lower primary, that is, we were piloting in grade 1 and 2, and we had 4 schools in a county. And then for pre-primary 1 and 2, we also had 4 schools, and then for special needs we had 2 schools. So each county we had 10 schools, and we piloted and we supported the teachers. We gathered the information we needed to improve on the curriculum.
Working well?
Now,
it worked well?
It is working well, and people are happy about it. So this year we said we want all the teachers to test it. So this year again we are piloting it now in all schools for pre-primary 1 and 2 and grade 1 and 2.
Okay, someone wants to know, Harvey wants to know, I'd like to know what happens to the current teachers and those in colleges and universities right now. Will they undergo fresh training as per the new curriculum?
For the teachers who are already in the field, we started with them last year. We have started training them. We trained them for at least 5 days, just sensitizing them on the key features of this curriculum and how we want them to implement it. And this year, we'll still be doing it with them. So the whole year they'll be piloting, and we'll be periodically going there. And we have also trained field officers, those who are closer to them, on how to support the teachers, on what they should observe, and so that we are changing their mindset slowly by slowly. And then those who are in colleges, we are already planning that this year we might also train the tutors, the college tutors, so that they are giving a few tips on this new curriculum. But we are also revising the teacher education curriculum.
Those in private schools, those in schools that don't conform to this syllabus, what happens to them? For instance, those who sit common entrance or GCSE or international baccalaureate, what happens to them?
I think I can't answer that now because I don't know what we have done with them, but I think that's an area we have to go to. But what I know is that the CS already said that any Kenyan child, there are certain things that they must learn. Like Kenyan history, they must now learn Kenyan history. Some of the languages like Kiswahili, which is a common language, a national language, an official language. Maybe they'll have to learn that. So those are some of the things that will work with the people who are offering that kind of curriculum.
Definitely.
So
Now, somebody asked that what happens to a child who has finished grade 6? Again, that child will just move to grade 7.
Straight.
And at the end of grade 9, which is the end of lower secondary, we will have again another sampling of a number of learners, and we check whether they are meeting standards, because we have put standards for that level.
Yeah.
And after that, the child should have discovered what their talents are, what their strengths are,
Right.
with the help of the teacher and the parent. The parent is fully involved in this curriculum.
But there's no KCPE is gone.
It is gone.
KCSE is
Will
gone.
be gone. So KCSE, the last people are doing it is in 2022, and in 2026 we'll do the last KCSE.
Your daughter must be happy, Charles. Break the news today. Break the news.
Even as a parent, I'm very, very happy with this new curriculum. How it will holistically help me involve and know what my daughter is good at from the word go.
Yeah.
You understand? Subject, like I used to tell you. You see, I got a D plus in mathematics.
Yes. D
You know,
plus.
a D plus, strong D plus.
It was strong, okay.
It was strong. Underline is strong. Then I had a D plane in physics, and a D must have been a D minus in chemistry.
Oh my goodness. You were full of D's.
Then I got an A plane in theory.
Yes.
And an A plane in history. You understand?
Right.
So those one were my strength.
Yes.
So my D's put together and my few A's put together catapulted me to a C plus.
Yes.
You understand?
But if they had recognized you were good in history
And
and CRE,
long time
you
ago.
could have been a priest
You can imagine.
Yes.
teaching biblical history.
You can imagine.
And actually, you now belong to the pathway of social science.
You can imagine. So, subjecting me to
D's.
to have to learn about things that I don't even understand.
Pi R squared.
Can you imagine? Where is pi here in this microphone now?
The only pie I know is chicken pie.
That is where the problem is.
Yes.
But this is nice.
2633.
But also to children who are doing GSC and these programs that are not Kenyan. Now they have to be Kenyan children again. They have to be forced, like your son must now or if they decided they are not Kenyan, let them go on with GSC and IBM and whatever.
And those other ones.
Yes.
But you know what? He says he takes Kiswahili.
Kiswahili.
Yeah.
Jamal.
Yeah, Kiswahili.
He likes Kiswahili.
Yeah, along with Spanish and French.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All
But
right.
you know, Kiswahili. That's what he said.
So when Jamal brings homework, Kiswahili homework, do you help him? Of course I have to. You yourself, you're a disaster in Kiswahili.
That's a strong D plus.
Strong D plus.
Okay, Elmad Songe.
Yes.
Some final thoughts going forward.
Yes.
Is this the right move for this country with our Vision 2030? The way the education curriculum is, the way we are turning around graduates at the highest level. Is this the way now for the future? Is this a game changer?
It's the game changer, because actually one of the pillars we used was the Vision 2030. It has some recommendations that it was saying that if we have to be industrialized, if we have to become a middle-level economy country, then we have to reform our curriculum. So those are some of the things we were using, because we are guided by Vision 2030. We are guided by the Constitution. The issue of values. Values is seriously put in this curriculum, because we don't want doctors who lack values. They are killing people already. We don't want somebody who becomes a state officer, and instead of helping the country, they are enriching themselves. They lack values. They are so good, but they lack values. We are seeing our leaders fighting every day in the media. They are fighting in parliament, a respectable house. So those are the things we want to change. So this young generation will come, a generation with values, because we are really emphasizing that, and we are going to deliberately ensure that we are inculcating values. Community service is a serious one. We are starting it from early years up to grade 12, and actually some of the compulsory subjects, mainly 2 compulsory subjects in senior school, is community service learning and physical education. You can imagine, not mathematics. Because we want children to start learning how to give back.
By the way, Jalas or Elmad, I don't know if you know this, the Germans,
Yes.
the German education system is exactly what you described.
Yes.
It's this 2633.
Yes.
They recognize if a child has sporting skills
Yes.
from the get-go, that's the path they hone the child. If he's good at welding,
Yes.
woodwork,
He starts welding immediately.
immediately.
So that at the age of say 10, they already know what
know.
they're doing. They can
They
come
know.
up with design.
By
But
18, he's
but
working.
something that should not be skipped are actually the languages. Yes.
Yeah.
In this,
Languages?
languages.
Actually, from grade 4, apart from English and Kiswahili, we are giving so many languages that the children can now choose. You can choose to study French, Chinese, Germany, Japanese, or Kenyan Sign Language. So children have that option from grade 4. So you see, it's a good system because we are giving so many. We don't want to be rigid, very flexible. And at senior school again, we are giving options for those who want to do woodwork, carpentry, metal work, and all that.
Because whether you are a carpenter or anything, you have to.
And you can
know
go with
how
that
to communicate.
up to higher levels.
Correct.
Communicate.
Elmad Songe, Chief Curriculum Development Officer at the Kenya Institute for Curriculum Development. Thank you so much for shedding lots and lots of light on this new system of education. I hope people have learned as much as we have this morning.
2633.
2633.
Yes.
It's like Mandela's prison number, 46664.
Thank you so much, Mr. Elma.
Thank you so much.
This is what we call
Candid interviews with decision makers.
You're now rocking with the best, man.
It's the Hot Breakfast with Jeff and Jalango.